What do you think needs to be done differently there, and what have you guys talked about in that regard?
We're just staying consistent. That's one of our main focuses is getting that playbook, making sure we stay consistent. But really bringing we got a lot of new guys now too. We're bringing all those new guys along, making sure they're staying consistent, just playing to Alabama's standard.
How much more comfortable are you in this defense, and is that going to give you that extra step? It seems like you were just like one step away from getting a few sacks.
I mean, it's once we get a new head coach, new scheme and everything, it's always going to take that time to really adjust. But now it's like it just comes easy. Like I was playing back at A&M, I just knew every play. Now it's like, we did that same play last year. I'm already knowing, so I'm more efficient with my moves, making sure like I don't have to focus on what am I going to do. Like I'm just going to do it.
Are you expecting a higher sack total this year?
Oh, yeah, of course.
What does it look like in, I guess, the defensive line room when, the emphasis is on more pressure, more sacks, more tackles for loss? What does that look like, I guess, from a practical standpoint?
That just makes us want to be better. Last year we didn't get as many sacks and pressures as we wanted to. And of course, like, they gave us a goal task. Like, that's what we're striving for this summer, spring. Like, how are we going to get in the backfield? And that's what Womack has implemented more as well, is how are we going to implement more ways to make sure that D-line is in that backfield.
So what does that look like on the practice field? Like, what kinds of things are y'all doing to kind of promote that?
I say instead of, like, just sitting on the line, making sure we holding gaps for the backers, it's more just us going at our own speed, like making sure that we're just getting off that ball.
Kelby's coming in with kind of a similar situation as you did last year. How do you kind of help him, especially as a guy that can maybe play a little bit of both positions? How do you kind of help him kind of transition to Alabama?
Really just making sure, because he's played time at Florida. Like, he's got on the field, and he's already considered a vet. Coming in, even though it's a new scheme and everything. We're just bringing him in, making sure we're bringing him into that leadership role. I feel like that's that next part of him growing up. So I'm making sure he becomes more of a leader. So like now he's learning new plays, but what are we gonna do next year when we're gone? We need him to start implementing those plays that he plays.
You were one of a number of seniors that decided to come back for their senior year. What went into that decision for you, and what have those conversations been among that group?
It was really my very own decision. I felt like I left a lot on the table last year, especially sack-wise. The pressures are cool and all, but what the guys really want to see is who's really making that production. So it was more like I know I was up there second, first round, but I know I left way more production on the board, and I'm just trying to solidify that spot in that first round.
You got a number in mind? How many sacks you want to get?
Double digits, anything over double digits. That's my goal.
Who are some of the newcomers, kind of banded or along the defensive line, kind of stood out to you so far this spring?
Say it again.
Who are some of the guys that have stood out along the defensive line? Newcomers or just people playing the bandit position?
Definitely Kelby, but Jordan Renard, he's definitely stepped up his game for real. He was one of those young guys that had to play behind me and Zebo last year, but just seeing him transition and his mature level, just that rising, I could just tell he's going to be a great leader coming up this year.
How much different is Zebo on the field? I think we saw he lost a ton of weight to go play that Wolf position. Just how different does he look when he's out there?
Man, he's like a weight 10 times faster. Like, it's just a different type of game when you lose that weight, because when I came in, I had to gain weight. That kind of slows your game down a little bit, but you have to make sure you adjust to that weight. Zebo, he's taking his weight loss to another level. Like, just him actually being up, like he's adjusting just like this, as if he was already that weight. So him being able to make sure he's moving faster just expands his game more, especially when he has to drop himself.
Kane talked about the maybe lack of depth at defensive tackle, or he says he never has enough depth, but how versatile is this defensive line, and kind of how much can you guys maybe help out a little bit in the inside as well as at bandit and stuff?
Oh, well, like I said before, like me and Kelby, especially Jordan, like anybody on the D-line can play any position. Like when it comes to 3 down, 4 down, we have a lot of our guys moving inside and outside just to get a feel of that. But it's more of like 3rd downs especially. I mean, our heaviest guy right now is 310 TK. Like we got more guys that can just get up and go instead of having to just take up blocks. So it's more sharp for production this year.
How's Keeley progressing?
Oh well, I mean, like out of my 3 years of playing in college football, I haven't seen a guy like Keon be able to like just keep making jumps year by year. Like he's got a great mindset. But like at the end of the day, we're at Alabama, so like, dude, it just really just keep on clicking.
You talk about mindset. What's yours coming into this year? And I know it's only the spring, but
really, I just want to kill everything, man. Like I felt like I proven a lot last year, but I ain't shown enough. my mindset this year is really just making sure I go out and prove to everybody what I can really do.
What's practice been like from your perspective? What's the energy been like? Conversation with teammates and things like that?
It's been great, man. Like, I'm starting to take more of a leadership role, so being able to communicate more, better, instead of like keeping to myself, and we're just being able to exert more energy. It's just really, it helps out. You feel me? Like, just really being excited to be here. So,
What other guys have you seen kind of taking that leadership step alongside you this spring?
Brayson Hubbard, of course, from the safety position. That guy's like, he's a different type of play style. You see him flying around the field, he'll get on your butt just like that, but at the end of the day, he's trying to help you out on the side. Especially Tim Keenan, good one. I mean, Tim Keenan's he doesn't matter what position you in, offense or defense, like, he's gonna make sure you're good, but at the end of the day, if you're not doing right to the Alabama standard, like, he's gonna push you past that limit.
So I guess you've talked a lot about, energy, raising the levels, from last year for yourself and for the team. What does that look like out there on the practice field this week, and how do you want to see it going forward?
It's more so guys just staying up, like even on the sidelines, making sure that everybody's engaged, making sure that guys know their plays. We don't want anybody just slacking off, lollygagging. It's more of, are you locked in? Are you hyping your teammate up or your brother up that's in there battling for you?
What have you seen from Steve so far the first couple of days of spring, and what can he provide in this room?
And Steve's a different breed, but he's a young guy. Like, just like all young guys that come in, everybody has to learn technique on that. But he's got a great momentum, great everything. He's gonna be a good player.
Have you had a chance to go up against Michael Carroll much? What do you think, him and young guy on the other side?
I haven't went up against him, but just watching him on film, he's gonna be a hell of a player for sure. His footwork, like as a freshman, like it's just crazy. Just being able to see it. He does have a lot to work on, but just like I said with Steve, it's a whole nother ball game. Like coming out of high school, instead of like being able to handle a lot of kids, you're going against grown men now, so it's all about technicality.
What is your level of confidence after the year that you had last year and the things you were able to show?
Just feel like I'm back in high school, man. Like, it's just, everything clicks now. It's not just me freezing up or trying to overthink anything. It's just everything's set in front of me. Like, it's just how am I going to handle it now?
2 more questions. We saw James Smith kind of grow over the course of the season. He took a larger role in the bowl game. Just what do you think his potential is, and how big can he be this coming year in a bigger role?
Yeah, James is a hell of a player. Not gonna lie. Like, you talk about somebody with emotion.